What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing subscription boxes that you may have never heard of before. These are a couple of different subscription boxes we hadn't heard of, and it was our gosh dang job to do subscription box unboxings for the longest time on this channel. So we're gonna dabble with some new ones today. We're also gonna talk about one that we don't have, that we really wanted, and you guys really wanted us to get, that we just can't get. And I don't know if anybody can get it. So we'll get to that in a second.
I think not only are these boxes that you're just gonna see, we thought it was just like, it would be selfish of us not to tell you about them because they're really, really cool. So I think not only have you not heard of these, but you really need to hear about these because they're really, really awesome.
And you're going to right now. So let's start with the first one. The one that we already unboxed once on our LureNet unboxing, where we had a whole bunch of different brands. This is the Bank and Creek bag. And this is coming from the Pradco family of brands. You can get it on lurenet.com. They're 40 bucks, $39.99. And it's got a heck ton of baits. It also comes in a bag. Fancy that. A lot of stuff doesn't come in bags that are reusable with a nice little zipper on it. So I was pretty excited about this the first time I saw it. And then we opened it up and gosh dang, it was just full of good stuff. We've got the last 2 months of this, so we're gonna show you both of them. We're gonna do the same with the other brand that we got. So the one that we don't have that we wanted to talk about today is from the Hookup Tackle, and this is called the Bento Box. Now, it is packed full of JDM brands and amazing lures. It's always guaranteed a Megabass Vision 110, which is like the best jerkbait ever invented.
And like capital T, the jerkbait.
The jerkbait.
It's so sick.
They are $25 a jerkbait. So here's the deal. This box is $99.99.
That's
so
$100 almost.
It's the second most expensive subscription box that we've ever considered. Yeah. It's $100 almost.
Well, like normally I wouldn't even tell you about a $100 box because realistically, how can you make it worth it? I think what they do such a great job of is, and all of these actually do this, is bringing you something that you like can't get elsewhere, or you never even would have heard of, or don't even know about to like the highest degree. And in this case with JDM baits, you're gonna get stuff that a lot of the Vision 110s come in custom colors that you can't get anywhere else, which I think is really cool. And then you're getting plastics that you might not even be able to get a hold of like off the regular market, which I think is like, that's where it becomes worth the price of admission at $100. But the problem we ran into is you got to get onto like the list.
A list somewhere that I don't know where the list is. We emailed, we messaged, we tried to just buy the thing. You try to force the internet, the web to like let you buy it.
I did my best. I was on there for like 2 weeks waiting to get on there, and I was like, you know, this is really tough. It's kind of an exclusive thing, which I think people appreciate as well.
VIP.
Yeah,
it really is. It's like caters to the custom lure market, to the JDM lovers out there, to the collectors out there. Yeah. Maybe more so than somebody who's just trying to get into JDM, in my opinion, because you're getting all those custom colors. If you want to get into JDM, it can be difficult, but if you know the right people, like follow the right people is what I would suggest. So we like BurlyFishing, we like the Hunter Fisher, Tackle Tour. You can follow the Hookup Tackle. They're gonna talk about this stuff all the time. You should definitely follow all those guys and check out Bait Finesse Empire. I mean, there's different places that you can see this stuff, get exposure on those baits, see how they actually work in the water, see if they actually catch fish, and then make your own decision, because the JDM market is higher priced here than what you're used to buying domestically, especially if you're Strike King, Yum, like that's your go-to. You're spending up on these. So it's something to consider. But so many people called out the Hookup Tackle Bento Box on our previous subscription videos that we had to talk about it. We tried to get it for you guys. So if anybody has a hookup to the hookup, hook a brother up. The next one we want to talk about that we actually have physically in hand for the past 2 months is the Bank and Creek bag, the bait school reusable bag here. Now this comes from the Pradco family of brands. If you go to lurenet.com, you guys saw our video where we got a gift card for LureNet. We bought like every brand that exists on that thing.
Which includes Booyah, Yum,
we're doing this again.
Great Lakes Finesse. Like there's so many, and they're awesome.
It's a lot of brands.
And you know them all, and some of them are your grandpa's brands, and they're getting like reinvented, like the Smithwick jerkbait,
Smithwick, Arbogast, you know,
freaking Rebel, dude. Like
they're all on there,
and that's what you're gonna find in here.
You're gonna get a combination of those things. A smattering of brands will be included in here. And what we noticed with the first month is that they tend to like pair things up really well. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go through last month and then this month, just bait by bait, show you guys. So off the top though, keep in mind you got this reusable bag, which is kind of nice. So the cool thing about this, you're not only getting all these brands that you're like aware of already, you are usually getting custom colors in this box as well, and ideal pairings for where you want to go fish. So let's go with some hard baits off the top. We've got a Booyah one knocker. Oh my goodness, glare please. So we got the Booyah one knocker in this like custom craw color, which is pretty sweet.
This one is really cool. This is a Bomber Lures jerkbait called the Long A, but I gotta be honest with you, that color right there is such money. None of this stuff is like cast off garbage colors. Like I would have picked this one out of the lineup.
It's juicy, so is this. So this is the Natty Light color, and that is for the Bandit 100, an absolute classic crankbait.
Now it is the Bank and Creek bag, which means you get some baits that are made for the creek. So this is the Craw crankbait from Rebel. This is one of my all-time favorites, and this color is freaking Look at the little blue there. And this is pretty small. This thing's like 1¼ inches, 1½ inches maybe. Put that on an ultralight, you are gonna smack some fish. Come on, zoom in. Let me see it. There it is.
Then we got a jig. This is the Baby Boo jig from Booyah, and this is coming in 3/16 of an ounce, so a little finessey, good for the season right now, in a watermelon color.
There's the Ned Dinger. So really cool looking Ned bait. I will get this one out for you.
So you can put that on that, or you can put it on these Yum Ned jig heads, which also came in here. Now these come with the weed guard, and these are in at a 1/12 of an ounce, so also kind of finessey. I like it.
Green pumpkin blue flake. Underrated.
Go-to
Let's
color.
be real.
Go-to color. And then we get kind of the cream of the crop, in our opinion, from the LureNet brands. We got Great Lakes Finesse. We've had these guys on our podcast. We've been fishing this stuff for a little while. We're really happy with it. We got the 2.1-inch snack craw in this watermelon color. These all come in like a matte finish. We were talking to Dan Miguel, the creator of this brand, on our podcast, and we started talking about tournament tuned. Like what the guys used to do for tournaments is they would take their plastics and literally rub it on like the boat mat. And
to get rid of the glare, the sheen that's on those baits.
And fish were biting them more often than the shiny glossy baits. So there you go. These guys know what they're talking about. The dude set a record on St. Lawrence. Like,
do people fish St. Lawrence a lot?
All the time. It's only like one of the most tournament happy rivers in the world.
Legendary smallmouth fisheries in the world.
Crazy. So this dude caught like the biggest bag ever there. I mean, maybe you should listen to him. That's just my opinion. Do what you want.
Comma Spaceman.
Comma Spaceman. So that's the snack craw. Thing's amazing. And then we've got their little ball head jigs here as well, designed to pair perfectly up with that. They got the Gamakatsu hooks and we love it.
If you haven't heard of Great Lakes Finesse at this point, they are on the cusp of becoming a household name in fishing. Yep. And we're talking within 2 years. That's insane. And it's because they're making tournament winning baits. They're making them for quality. They're not making them for like volume and sales and all that kind of stuff. They're just making the best stuff right now.
These guys also include a little discount there, and then they've also got videos, tips, and tricks with the QR code.
I kind of like that.
This is something that we talked about on our big unboxing comparison recently of like, are fishing subscription boxes even worth it anymore? We're like, everybody, instead of having this big pamphlet in there, just have a QR code that goes to a page with videos. These guys did it. Good job. And then you get some stickies. So we got Bandit Lure sticky, and then we got the Bank and Creek. It's white on white. You can't really see it. Bank and Creek fishing.
We like the white stickies though because they really pop on the kayak.
They pop on the kayak.
I like the white. Yeah. I do.
So that was the February bag. Now we've got the March bag here.
And why would we show you like back to back? You would think that they were going to be exactly the same. And so we wanted to understand like, okay, what does this look like from month to month? Because it is frustrating if you buy 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and you get the same thing every time. So we want to show you what maybe one month to month looks like so you can make that decision ahead of time to buy 1 or 300.
One noticeable thing on the month to month on this one is in the March, we have no hard baits. So that's something to keep in mind. We did get a bunch of plastic, a bunch of stuff to try. We got hooks, we got jigs. So, I mean, these are things that we're fishing right now.
Yes.
If I had to give it any sort of knock, it would be like, I do like to see a hard bait. It kind of instantly adds value to any box or bag. So not seeing a hard bait in here is a little disappointing.
The count is
and the count of baits in this is a little bit higher. So let's go through that real quick. All right, so Paul's gonna hold up the terminal and I will hold up the plastic that came in this kit to be rigged with said terminal. And it pairs up perfectly. So check this out. Number one.
This is the Sneaky Underspin from Great Lakes Finesse. I just posted a picture about this today, and I said in that photo on Instagram, this is what I'm going to be fishing all spring long. A very trim profile on the head. It's very finessey, and you don't have to do a lot. It's not a twitch bait. So we heard about this on the podcast. This is just a straight retrieve. This is meant to just do the work for you.
Yum Pulse. We've got a slightly downsized version. If you guys have ever fished a Yum Pulse, I'm used to the 4-inch, 4.5-inch model. This is the 3.5, and it's really like finessey body to it. So this will pair up with that. You can get cheeky though with those, the Sneaky Underspin, and you can throw like a Ned bait on there. You could throw
anything straight tail is going to work really, really well.
Yeah, straight tail's ideal. So drop shots, Ned rigs, but you can obviously throw a paddle tail on it.
A 5/16 ounce swim jig from Booyah, and the color is freaking awesome. It's like, this to me is way better than coleslaw because it's just not as obnoxious. I have a lot more faith in this one right here. So you get the weed guard, you get the nice hook. Let's see what we're dealing with. And you got a, whoa, holy crap. You got a mega
heavy duty boy.
You get not only a solid hook, but you get a mega bait keeper. You're not losing anything with those two.
And you could also pair that with the Yum Pulse. So there you go.
Hunted, or
you can pair that up with the Scottsboro swim bait that came in here. There we go, check that out.
But you can put it on whatever you want.
So we got a little wider profile. Both of those baits though in the 3.5 inch range. These are the 3-inchers, the Scottsboros, and then that Pulse Minnow was 3.5 inches. So you got two options, and you can rig them up either on Sneaky Underspin or on that swim jig. So there you go.
Gorgeous.
Next terminal.
Next up is the Great Lakes Finesse. You get a 3/16 ounce. This is their tube jig. Now, what makes these tube jigs unique? There's two things I want to show you. One, this is meant for much smaller profiles, not giant tubes. So this is like for a 2-inch or less tube. That thing is beautiful. And one thing that we talked about too that's always bothered me about all tube jigs is they're the same teardrop shape. But you don't fish them all the same way. A lot of folks want to hop them on the bottom. They want to keep them upright depending on the type of bait you're using, specifically the one you're about to see. So this one has an arrow shape. Can I get in there? This one has an arrow shape to it, and it is very different from a lot of the other profiles. The flat bottom is going to keep this, if you're running on the bottom, flat to the bottom. And you'll want it with this plastic.
Might I recommend the Yum Craw Bug. We've got a tube style craw. You can see it's hollow right in there. And it is 2.5 inches. This one's called Natural Craw, so you get this like light brown to motor oil almost with some red flake and some black flake in there. Why don't you go ahead and pair those suckers up?
A lot of people were like, the craw bug's really cool. I've had them forever. You can get them anywhere. I can't believe you didn't know about it. But also, how do I rig it? This is, even though this is the face of the bait, it's actually the rear, right? And so you've got a hollow body cavity, and then this is where the front's gonna be. So you take your tube jig, you take your plastic, and it's way easier than what you probably are thinking. You just take your tube jig, you shove it on up there, and once you hit some resistance or you get the hook where you want it, all you do is just pull down on the plastic until the top of that tie-in point pops through, and you are, other than this little guy, appended guy, other than this guy right there, you are ready to fish. It's as simple as that. Now you can do this with a ball head jig, you can do this with a Ned head jig, you can do this with a lot of different options. You can use a regular jig, although it's probably gonna rip. This is probably your best option, but you got other options too. All right, next up we have a wacky hook. This is the Pro X Wacky Nico rig hook right there for you. And I think this comes in a, what's this gotta say, a quantity of 7, which is solid.
Let's throw a Yum Dinger on that, shall we?
If you can't catch on this combo, you may want to reconsider your hobby.
This might be the most value-packed fish catchingest combo in existence.
Yeah.
The Yum Dinger meets the Daiichi Wacky Hook.
100.
All right, so this one is called Amber Night. Check out this color.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Dude.
It's got copper flakes, so I'm already like on board.
Oh, it's like a cosmic.
Yeah, it's so nuts.
That's
There's
sick.
like some blues in there, some coppers in there. We got a dark upper side, lighter underside. It's the juice. Why don't you wacky that bad boy?
Now,
and go catch a fish.
if you're a big fan
Look at the action on this.
if you're a big fan of fishing or a casual fan of fishing, you know that you can't really rig a yum dinger the wrong way. You can Nico rig it, in which case you're gonna stick a weight right there in the bottom, a nail weight, and then all you're gonna do is right in probably the lower third of the bait, right at the back of this little section right here for hook hiding, you're just gonna go ahead and hook your bait like so, and then hop it off the bottom. So your weight's here and you go boop, 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 boop. That's a good way to do it. So this hook is good for that. It's also great for just the old, you find the center of your plastic, and then you just, no weight, do it like this, tie it on, cast at a dock, enjoy catching all the fish.
All of the fish. There is still one more combo in here. Not one more bait, one more combo.
Yep,
so go ahead and show
you're
us.
gonna go ahead and get a 3-pack of weedless Ned heads. Now these are the Ned jig heads from Yum. This one comes in the 1/12, which is honestly supremely perfect for the bait that Jeff's gonna show you.
It is. We've got the Yum Helgramite here. And again, you know, sometimes you get custom colors, sometimes you don't. This one's called Green Clown. And I can tell you, the Yum, first of all, they come in 10 billion colors. When we were picking them out on the website, we were just like, scroll, scroll, scroll.
It was really difficult.
So maybe this was there, maybe it wasn't. I can't speak to that. But Green Clown, essentially, we've got green pumpkin with, oh my Josh on the underside. Look at all that copper flake. This is a crick catching machine. And then you throw it on that Yum Ned head and you just fish it like a Ned rig. You're gonna win. I mean, it's a Helgramite. They catch, man.
And I would say, I personally do not like the weedless. Even in the creek or anywhere else for that matter by grass, I still like an open hook.
We clip it off.
You just go ahead and clip it off. If you don't like it, if you like having it, keep it, then you're already good to go. But if you don't, you can just cut those off. It's not a big deal. It's not gonna ruin the bait. So just go ahead and do whatever you need to do to catch the fish you wanna catch.
QR code, discount, white on white sticker.
Oh.
Guess what it says? It says Great Lakes Finesse.
That's pretty dope.
Bank and Creek Lure.
I love it.
There you go.
And how much are those? Those are 40 bucks?
These are 40 Boneses.
$40.
Which is,
I think you're right where you need to be.
it's the MTB Elite cost. It's the Monster Bass, what do we call it now? The Platinum. So 36 to 40 bucks tends to be like this go-to range. And you're getting 7 to 8 baits. In this case, we got 10 things in here, dude.
And those were, a lot of companies say they pair things up. This is what I would grab. So I think they're paired well.
It's like thought actually went into this.
You get the reusable bag. They have a lot of brands to draw from, so it's all home-baked brands. I would say this is probably not the one you get every single month. This is probably the one, if you want to get a beginner angler, something that they can grow into for a long time.
That they can catch on.
And
like you could take
absolutely.
this, it's designed so that you could take this to the bank or to the creek and catch the fich.
100%.
It is one of the, we've unboxed a lot of subscription boxes. This is one of the most well thought out boxes.
Applause. Out of 10, a scale of 10, it's gonna be 8, 9?
I was sad there was no hard baits, so I can't give it a 10, but I'll give it an 8.8.
Yeah, this is like
That's
an 8 or a
very high.
9, and like depending on the month, you're sniffing 10, so I think that's good. So one thing I will say about all 3 of these, and the reason they're all 3 on their own video, not a different video, is that they all have their own little niche that they target, and they target very well. So
A unique value proposition, if you will.
bingo bongo. So we talked about the Bank and Creek bag. I think that targets like the big brands, but they're paired really well. They're great for, as far as like a value, if you're gonna get this as a gift to an angler, you're not gonna miss. You just can't miss because they did such a good job pairing everything and they got great brands. So that's them. Then on the JDM side with the bento box, they're hyper specific. Like we are going after JDM baits that maybe you can't even get, right? And so they have a really good value proposition. You pay for it. It ain't cheap, but neither are the baits they're including in there. So I think they do a really nice job of that. Yeah. And that also goes for this. This is Dark Horse Tackle. You guys lambasted us in the comments for not having him in there, and we deserved it, so here we are. Now, what does...
I didn't deserve it, you deserved it.
I deserved it, solely me. Now, what does... Sorry, the glare here is awful. Now, what's so special about this box versus others? They're doing what we like to do and what we've always liked to do, which is to show you smaller companies doing really great things, being ingenuitive and coming up with what is going to be the next Great Lakes Finesse, right? You can find them here first, and I think that is a really cool value proposition.
It is. This is the February.
You see?
It's harder than you think. This is the February box, so we're gonna open up that first, and we have the March box. 2-month preview. I don't have a knife. I'm just a baby.
Watch your eyes. We have not looked at these.
We have not opened these. I've had this sitting on my shelf for a month. I like this. All right, so anyways, Achigan, I've never heard of that before.
It's Achigan, but this is basically French for smallmouth. Go check out their website. They make the coolest swag, and it's all targeted towards smallmouth bass, which, I like myself a little mouth bass.
Bro, and then there's all the brands, and I see Picasso on here, and I'm like, I thought we were talking little brands, and like, I know Picasso's not huge, but they're like one of my favorites.
Okay. So we're talking about, I'm going to say it wrong, so just tell me how wrong I am. I'm going to say Achigan. Look at this small, it's a fish missile. Oh my God, that's so cool. Smallmouth painted missile. God, that's freaking awesome. So $34.99, $35, slightly cheaper than the some of these others. Now, one thing I want to call out, you are talking about smaller companies, which means they don't have the margins to be giving things away to support their business. They need to make sales because they're doing this on a smaller budget. They don't have a marketing budget to just like be throwing stuff at you. So just understand that the value is going to be, the value proposition is different, which means it's not going to be $25, right? So keep that in mind as we go through. Let's get to the base.
Okay, so first of all, Picasso lures. Have you guys ever heard of them? I have. I buy the stuff on Tackle Warehouse all the friggin' time. I have a Picasso A-rig that I absolutely love. I like their chatterbaits. I like their swim baits. I think they do a good job. So we have the Smart Mouth inline. It's 1/4 ounce, 3/0 hook. And this is, oh, what?
See, this is what makes Picasso.
loosey-goosey.
This is what makes Picasso Picasso.
Look at the weed guard.
Whatever you're thinking, you're getting, you're
wrong. We got the double wire bait keeper here. Whatever you put on this is not coming off. We got this crazy, these look like Q-tips. So your tie point is right here. You tie to this, you run it like an inline spinner with a bit more weight than maybe you're used to with your inlines, at least that we use, the size inlines that we're usually using like a MEPS 3. This is like a MEPS 8.
18.
So, yeah, little hefty boy off the back, throw a paddle tail on there. Dude, this is a cool bait though.
It is cool.
I really like it. And what we're gonna pair that up with is this guy right here. So from Big Joshy Swimbait. This is similar to that Yum Scottsboro because we got the flat top, we got the paddle tail, but it is definitely thinner, a little less of a belly, but a good like head section for rigging, I think. And a juicy color.
It is a painted eye, so you're not getting the eye included. It is a painted eye, but I will tell you, this is freaking sick. Look at how squared off that is. That is aggressive on the tail.
I'm fishing this today. Check it out.
Oh, for friggin' sure, dude.
This is so cool. And oh, by the way, it's a hammered Colorado blade on that, so that is neat.
1/4 ounce. It's a beaut, Clark.
There you go.
It's a beaut.
Really cool combo. I see.
This is from L5. Have not ever heard of them.
LS.
LS?
It says right here because they typed it. Now we know it's LS Lures. Oh, they have the price value on each of these too. So that Picasso inline is $10.99. The Big Joshy is the 3.25 inch minnow, $6.79.
Got a ball head jig here. I think this is 5/16. 5/16 ounce ball head jig from LS Lures. Couple things I want to show you here. One, look at the daintiness on that skirt. This is going to be a cold water friggin' monster. It's giving river vibes. And then the tie-in point is pretty darn unique. Jeff, look at this tie-in point. It's faced usually the opposite direction that you would normally see there. Like it. So that's going to be an inline retrieve. But look at this. They trimmed out your weed guard. Look at it. See how it's like stepped down there? They trimmed out your weed guard to give you like the minimum amount needed, but also maximum protection right at the hook point. That's freaking cool.
That's valued at $7.99.
Yeah, you got one on
there. And it's going to pair up with this. Show them that.
Bruh.
Which is potent.
Stank! Oh my God.
This is like Papa John's garlic sauce right now.
When you open the pizza and the steam is impregnated with garlic.
That's what it is.
So this is J Bros Lures. It says Bubba Shot the Jukebox. It's a 3-inch grub. Black with blue, and is there purple in there?
It's cosmic, basically.
Oh, yeah. Let me show you this bad boy. Now, you can Ned this. You can do a lot of stuff. The angle of these appendages is decidedly downwards. It's not straight back. So you get 2 curly cues and 1 tail. That is sick.
That brings us to the pièce de résistance for this box, which is from Forbidden Baits. forbidden.
I see what you did there. I'm a father. I like a good pun.
All right, and this one is called the BF Glide, and yes, it's a glide bait. So
show me the package.
Here's in package. The perchiness of this thing.
It almost came to blows.
Oh my gosh. I immediately yoinked this out of the bag and was like, we gotta fish this thing.
We gotta fight.
We have to fight.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
1 glide leaves.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves. With a glide bait.
With a glide bait.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, goodbye. Show's over. So we got a custom card with a freaking signature on it.
Bro, the
That's
hooks.
as custom as it goes. Yeah, those are vector hooks, it says.
And these are sized
perfectly
with intention.
So it's a 0.3 ounce. So 0.3 ounce, 3.75 inch, sinking with number 8 and number 10, 2 different size hooks on this thing. Vector hooks.
Oh my God!
In yellow perch.
What is happening? How do we not? I need a whole other box from February, Dark Horse.
Dark Horse, send another one of these.
Let's show you the action on this. Now, if Brown Baitco was here, he would give you the full breakdown. I'll give you the garbage breakdown. Looks awesome! It's got the soft tail that is replaceable.
Oh,
and you can
so
slide it
tiny.
in and out, but I would say it's in the medium. I've seen tails that are a little more like durable than that one, but some that are way softer. So like this is a nice balance. This is BFS heaven.
Yeah, it's the BF Glide. So best friends glide.
I'm leaving.
Paul died.
I fired myself.
This is my best friend's glide.
Hey, that means it's mine. Give me that.
You're not my best friend.
Darn it.
I am.
Some guy named Timmy is getting it.
You've never met him. You have no idea.
You don't know that guy.
So you can see the different size trebles on here too, which is just really neat.
I love seeing this. Like, again, we're talking about what was the ask? Like, what was the goal for Dark Horse? Stuff you've never seen before from smaller companies doing great things. I love that plastic. It's really, really cool. It is unique. That glide bait knocked it out of the park. Like, I haven't fished it. I can just see that whoever's designing that knows what they're doing.
Yep.
You
That's
got
the value prop, is they're pairing you up with companies like that.
And where have you seen a jig like that before? That's got like the custom step down and all that. And then the Picasso lures, like, yeah, you could go get that on your own. But the thing about Picasso is they make a ton of stuff you've never heard of. And so you end up on Tackle Warehouse on the discount bin finding like the coolest bait for $2 because they just make so much you've never heard of. You can get it in here.
Yeah, I have a double chatterbait from them. It's 2 chatterbait blades in one.
I also have a swim jig that is a banger swim jig that you would not get anywhere else.
So, wow. First box from Dark Horse, going to the second one here. So first thoughts, I think it's a decent amalgamation of baits. It's definitely baits that you wouldn't otherwise find unless like you know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. So that's something important to keep in mind. The cost of these baits, MSRP is gonna be higher, so this is not your value box. That's like the biggest thing I gotta point out. This is not gonna be like an extremely high value box in terms of quantities and stuff. We'll see. Now I'm going off of one box. Paul's already looking into the second one like a cheater, so let's get into the second one and then we'll do our 0 to 10 vote on this. The next one, it starts out with a Crescent kayak sticker. I assure you, there was no kayak in this box. So
bummer.
Dark Horse, I demand a refund.
We should also speak to the pairing. So I'm going to say it right now. The pairing with this one, I can already tell, very solid between like plastics and terminal. The other one was as well. It was right up there. So very intentional, well executed.
Bonus points are always added for us when a box does a good job of thought going into the box. It doesn't feel like everything was just slapped together, like it pairs up well. So here's the list of baits. Pause for effect, if you will. And then we've got, oh, hey, this dweeb right here, that's Drew Gregory. So that's why Crescent was on here.
That guy fish much?
That's the featured small business. Now I like that too, that they're featuring small businesses. Crescent, if you guys don't know, is like, I mean, up and coming, but like taking the kayak
up and has come. Stays in the flick.
No, it doesn't. All right, so
it's staying in.
They've up and all over the place.
No, you can't say that. That you can't say.
Where are we drawing the line? Point is, small business crushing the scene. Shout out to Dark Horse for including small businesses.
And I have a Crescent. I have 2, and we have 3 between us. So
I have 1 too.
They're amazing.
All right.
Can we just start with this because it's so sick? So this is a crankbait from Dark Corner Custom Crankbaits. This is their matte shad.
Yeah, the Vector Tornado trebles.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah, and then this is valued at $13.99.
I rarely believe what I'm reading on these.
Like, it's hard to believe if it's worth $12, $13, $14. This is a pretty solid.
We talked about matte finish being something that is desirable because it's something that, you know, a fish might react to underneath the water, right? Having something that's not as shiny, that's a little unnatural. This is hyper natural. You're getting just that paint job is disgustingly cool. You get the nice square bill on there. It definitely looks like it's gonna be heavy frickin' duty. Now I will say this: without the clear coat, this thing's gonna get ripped up.
It's gonna get.
You're gonna shred this, but it's only gonna be because you've caught so many fish.
There we go. So we got our Vector hooks on there as well.
Yeah, see, that's what I was gonna point out. Look, see how they're tilted?
You guys see that? They're not bent. That's on purpose.
That's the tornado part.
I'm assuming something to do with action / helping you not lose fish.
Yeah, you tell me.
You guys tell us
Holy
what the point
smokes.
is. But it's a juicy looking crankbait. I don't know what the blank is that he's using.
It's cool. Do you see how the back is turned down?
I feel like it could be a custom. I don't know.
See how far down this portion is right here, the angle. That is not common. That's not on another crankbait that you're gonna see in almost anywhere. So, dude, kudos to them. This thing is freaking cool.
I would almost do this box just to see stuff I never see. That's like really it.
That's what I'm talking. When have you seen those? I've never even heard of those hooks. Make fun of me all you want. I've just not heard of them. I'm sorry.
Next up, we've got Biz Baits spinnerbait here with a silver willow blade, gold Colorado blade, a definitely upsized jig head. Have you guys ever seen a jig head like that big on a spinnerbait? That's interesting.
I like the spacer.
Yeah, we got the spacer. We got a spacer there with that. So I mean, it's like a compact arm on this as well, which is really interesting. And then it is hand tied. It's chartreuse and white and like a shad pattern going on. We got the molded bait keeper there. Nice long shank hook for whatever you want to pair that up with, which something in this box could be paired with.
I'm holding on to it.
Straight up juicy spinnerbait though.
I think it's biters, not bitters, right?
No, bitters go in your whiskey. Biters
go on your spinnerbait. So this is was it the Magic Swimmer? Is that what it is?
The Magic Craw is the color, the Naked Swimmer.
Naked Swimmer. There it is, right there. Now,
that's a beefy boy.
Implying can be fished on its own, but you certainly can put this on a spinnerbait.
Value $3.99 or 2 for $7, as it says on the front.
I was say they're not lying. It's there on the pack.
All right, then we've got a double up from a company called Croco Gator.
Dude, I'm down for this. I am freaking down for this.
So we've got a shaky head worm with a shaky head jig.
5/16 ounce, which apparently is like the magic weight right now for everything.
Yep.
So here's your shaky head. You get the black with the red eye there, a little demon combo, and it looks very solid.
And we're gonna pair that up with the Croco Gator shaky worm, which is roughly 6-something inches. It doesn't say on the bag, but it's gosh dang huge. We've got the ribbed body, so you get tons of action there. I mean, that is a lot of action. And then you get the bulbous tail at the end here, so that is gonna have a ton of action when you're hopping this along the bottom. I like it. Comes in a black and blue color, if you guys can see that.
Solid. You get 4 jigs. You get a long hook shank on this one. So for that big worm, this is
kind of
perfectly suited. You're not gonna miss any strikes on that long. Well, you have a lower chance of missing strikes on that longer worm.
And you've got 8 worms in this pack.
Not bad.
We got one more in this kit, and this is from Fresh Baits. Now, if you guys don't know Fresh Baits, they're famous for making a scorpion bait.
Who didn't? Who among us is, well, me and you.
They're the only company that I know of that made a scorpion bait. Yeah, never liked the scorpion bait. Some people did, so it's fine.
Good for you.
But apparently they make other things too, which is neat. So we got a stick bait worm in some sort of motor oily color.
Which I love. Motor oil is the most slept on color out there.
This is the juice. It also, depending on the light refraction here, gives a little bit of like almost a chartreuse. It's got that, and like true motor oil has that almost iridescent quality to it too, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's like a weird, when the light hits it, it just looks a little different than everything else, which is why we love the motor oil.
Again, you're paying $35, running through the numbers here. You're a little over that value. It kind of this falls in line with the fishing subscription big unboxing that we did, where we're like, what's the value? What's the over? All right, so you pay $35, you get what in value? You're getting about an extra $5 to $7 in value on average that we saw with all those brands, and that's the big brands. This one, I'm seeing a similar thing. Around $5 over that 35.
The MSRP.
So they paired the stuff up pretty good. They exposed you to some new custom baits that you haven't seen before. They made that sticker. That's like 10 bonus points. Again, it's not like the value box. You're not buying this to save money on baits. And that's not really the point of many boxes at all anymore anyways.
It shouldn't be.
No, exactly.
I kind of think it shouldn't be.
You know, it's great when they actually provide you with things that you would use versus when you get a Lucky Tackle box and you get like saltwater stuff that you would never touch in your entire life.
The same goes for all three. I think all three target something really specific. These are not mega boxes. Not everyone knows about them, but obviously you guys do. And that tells me that what they're doing right now in the market is certainly working. So that's why we wanted to showcase it to you. Thank you to folks that sent us stuff. Thank you to Bento Box for not sending us anything. It is what it is. But thanks for all three of these companies for making a cool box with a unique value proposition, giving you something that's not just $5 or $10. Because like anyone can go buy their own baits, but you wouldn't even know to get most of these baits had you not gotten this.
Final verdict. If you guys want a bag that has all the pairings of all the things that you would need to go catch fish immediately, and they pair up really well and the colors are chosen with thought, you should get this. The Banking Creek bag. It's fantastic. If you guys want to support small businesses, go check out Dark Horse Tackle. I think that there's some value there too. I would say on the bags and the boxes that we got for Banking Creek, I gave it an 8.8. You give it a 9.
I think depending on which one you get, you're somewhere 8, 9-ish, and you might be sniffing 10 if you get the box that's like for your area.
Upper echelon. For the Dark Horse, it's something that we're passionate about, and if you're not, it's totally cool. I get it. So since it's something that we care about, supporting small biz, checking out new, unique, cool lures that we otherwise wouldn't see on our store shelves, I got to give that an 8.5.
It's going to be an 8+ every single time. Like if they deliver this kind of value on these 2 months every single time, I think you're in the absolute win column every time.
Bento Box, if I could get one, would get probably an 8 out of 10 because it's just really cool, and I love JDM baits, and I think that they're super neat.
I've seen them unboxed.
But I can't read it.
I've seen them unboxed before. Go check out Punch Fishing. Well, he doesn't do them anymore, but he had done a whole bunch of them. I've seen them open before. I think the value is there money-wise. I don't think you're overspending, but it is expensive. But you're still getting like the quality of the baits, and you're just seeing stuff that you probably have honestly never even like. Someone's brain did something incredible, and like you're reaping the benefits. So I think that's a win too. Probably 8 to 10 in there as well. I tried to buy it a couple of times.
There's our opinions. What are your opinions? Let us know in the comments below. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like, subscribe, and then come check out our lives every Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. We'd love to talk to you there and hang out and chat. All right, catch you on the next one. Okay, bye.
I will jump down, you jump up in 3, 2, 1.
I just threw my microphone.
How does one jump down anyways?